Good evening and welcome to Social Media Fridays on Monday, edition number 59. Each week we meet to discuss what happened in social media this week. We post articles of interest on the Social Media Fridays community on Google+. You're welcome to post your own and we'll be happy to talk about them, and also you're welcome to join us. Our first question first topic that we're looking at this week is on 15 social networking sites the web is obsessed with right now. I had a quick look. It doesn't look much different to what we would have been looking at 6 months ago or 12 months ago. Any comments, guys? Although Reddit, of course, is number 11 on this list. We don't know how Reddit's going to go. It might implode.
Vine got pushed up and Snapchat got pushed down. That's one that that's different on this one. Top 5 remains the same. Reddit is one that has been in, and Swarm by Foursquare. That's new. I've not actually known that tool.
Any of these been joined by any of you recently?
No. I've been on most of them. Foursquare, I deleted my account. It didn't make sense to me for the location and privacy issue, so I gave it up.
Okay. I noticed that allo.co is not mentioned.
That's strange. There are many sites, I think they're not mentioned here, maybe just they got pushed down or so.
Okay. Let's move on to the next, unless anybody else has a comment to make about the 15 social networking sites. All right. Sorry about the order of our run list too, guys. It's not matching our panelist report. I'll look into that and see if we can fix that. If not before Thursday, certainly before next Monday night. This app lets you see who unfriends you on Facebook. This is something that doesn't trouble me. I'm a recovering Facebook user. I've been clean now for 14 months. But apparently it's an app. It doesn't help for previous like friends who joined prior to you starting this app can't be tracked. But any new friends who friend you while you're running this app will be noted and tracked to see if they unfriend you. Do we really care about this one?
Not really. I keep deleting people. I think this is a bad app.
I can't see it being a useful item. I mean, if somebody unfriends you, what do you do then? Do you go and say, why, or I mean, the last thing you want to do is go and approach somebody that decided they didn't want to have anything to do with you.
I think it's irrelevant app for people who people who are in personal touch with each other. But I think it's a good app for corporates. I mean, people who actually, friending people for business purposes or pages, this and that. I think that's relevant for them, not for people who just, friends with, or personal friends or something. But a good app for people who are driving business through Facebook. That's still that doesn't add up much to them. It's just that they'll get to know which are the dropping contacts for them.
Right. How many friends does Dumb SEO Questions have on Facebook, Edwin Yonk?
I have no idea. Let me take a look.
We do have followers, I think likes. That's somewhere on 200 something? No, it's more than that.
Yeah, we're booming over there. Let me see, insights. We have 227 likes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? All right, let's move on to the next, unless somebody else wants to jump in on this one. I'll record that as a no. Now, men and women get an equal icon on Facebook, which I think is odd because physically, generally, girls are slightly smaller in stature than boys. So I think it's natural that girls would be slightly smaller in the icon, but no, it's now been placed as equals. So they've probably got a tall girl and a short man. Put them side by side. Yeah, I thought that the girl's icon looks like Lyndon Na. Well, I thought so anyway. Comments on this? Meher, we'll have to ask you, do you really care if your icon isn't as big as the boys' one?
I really don't care. I mean, I find it weird for Facebook to actually make this change. I mean, what are they trying to represent here? Because I heard they're changing their logo as well for mobile tabs and for websites differently. But what is the relevancy here? I mean, does it actually portray women as equal? I mean, they're always equal. It's just, I think, mental psyche that brings on.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of silliness. I mean, if Facebook genuinely wants to make men and women equal, how about, let's see, say 50% female, 50% male engineers running Facebook? Or, really, it's probably, I'm getting into deep water here, but we have, yeah, no, I won't get tangle myself up. But yeah, why not make half the engineers women? That would be equal. Of course, they won't do that.
What I don't understand is why they even have a guy and a girl next to each other, right? It doesn't make sense.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because the way we distinguish the gender is essentially through the hairstyle.
Yeah.
Which I find, Otherwise, I think, if it's the same shaped head, I think it'd be very difficult to tell them apart, right?
Yes. If you go to Google Plus, on the top right, you have an icon for add people. Why don't you use an icon like that? It makes sense. There's no distinction between boys and girls, or ages, because you can argue that this is a girl and a boy and not a woman and a man. So
Facebook likes to be in controversy, doesn't they? Like just making a gender issue. That was just, they could have just put it, simple.
It is interesting that sort of Google Plus has the more androgynous depiction, whereas Facebook has clearly gendered this depictions of people, or people like icons. They're not represent. They are essentially sort of the, if you like, the essence of the different genders. And it's interesting that Facebook did go for that. And then the only way to distinguish, as I said, is essentially through hairstyles. Yet, how many people actually have their, hairstyles like that?
Yeah. Anyway, if that's what makes them feel good at Facebook, I suppose we might as well leave them to it. Here's number 4 from Meher Bagat. Facebook's latest newsfeed change lets you pick who you see first.
I think this is interesting. I don't want to see everyone because I do follow a lot of people. It doesn't make sense to just get into everybody's latest feed. I just maybe want to check my first friends and then look after other people. It's a good way to personalize.
well, this is quite a change for Facebook. They used to have Edge rank. I now think they called just ranking or newsfeed rank, where basically Facebook determines what's on top and what is lower, or what you see or what you don't see. And here they basically ask their users for user input, which is quite a change from what they have been doing all these years. So.
Okay.
Yeah, there's always not a conflict, but what would be the right word? Competition, shall we say, between the user determining what they want to see, and then the service provider deciding for the user what the user is most likely to want to see. And of course, if the service provider is doing a very good job, then that's not a problem. But in many cases, they aren't perfect, far from it, and that's why people would want to make sure that they don't miss certain people's messages, while others that they can do without. So I think it's a problem not just for Facebook, but for almost any type of social media platform where people have limited amount of time. They want to absorb information that they like most, or they find most interesting. And how could you balance that out? Could you do it on the basis of automated recommendations, or could you do so in combination with user preferences and things like that? So I think it's an interesting way of doing it, and I don't think social media platforms have found the right balance yet. And you could argue that they're never going to find the right balance.
Yes, well, I mean, I have to admit with Google Plus, I don't follow the default feed. I rarely look at the default feed. I get by having circles of people that I want to hear from, and that's what I look at. And sometimes it's going to the actual profile of the person I want to hear from. All right, let's move on to the next. Should we move on to the next, guys? I'm going to say that's a yes. And the last one is probably our biggest and best. It's how to implement a loyalty program using social media. I didn't get time to read this, so I hope you guys have had a look at it. Uh-oh. Anybody?
Loyalty programs. I haven't actually gone through the entire piece, but I think it's relevant for every social media platform, even for personal people. I mean, like if you're friends with someone, that's all right. But any of the social network today is basically people are using it for maximizing their own personal interests, whether they're onto designing, creativity, or a business purpose. Loyalty programs does help. I think Facebook is one of the I think biggest platform where loyalty programs are served. Then I believe second is Twitter. I haven't seen much on Google Plus when it comes to loyalty programs like freebies or sign-ups.
Well, he's using retargeting here. Basically, he makes a page and then retargets with Facebook ads the people that saw that first post or link. And that's a little bit confusing for me because yeah, how it works, let me quote him, how it works. Running a loyalty program with this concept is very simple. Create a link ad to show to your target audience. Users clicking on that ad should be taken to a specific landing page. Second, create a website custom audience for visitors to the landing page associated with the first ad. Third, after a few days, create a new campaign with a new link ad to show only to users from the previous website custom audience. By doing this, Facebook will show your ad only to the users who visited the first landing page. Fourth, that second link ad sends traffic to the second landing page. Create a new website custom audience of users visiting this second landing page, and so on. I'm lost there.
I think it's mostly for bloggers, content developers, people who serve or offer freebies or premium bees, the services or books or not.
Yeah, but then he continues at the end. Let me scroll. That he's using a tool called Antavo, which is basically for e-commerce sites, right? Where you create badges and coupons for loyal customers. I don't know how what he means by retargeting, by making ads and retargeting, and then going over to making coupons.
And Another thing, of course, is that when you start to use incentives as part of a loyalty program, you'd have to declare all sorts of interests. Some of them may be conflicts of interest, and so on and so forth. So it is a difficult one. I think it's a difficult terrain to enter into. I think there are different ways of creating loyalty, but with freebies and coupons, that can be a bit tricky, and it might not work for many people. I think you have to have a certain product or service which renders itself to that kind of promotion.
Okay. Well, I think that just about wraps up our week for this week. If you're watching this hangout later, you can find what we talked about on the Social Media Fridays community on Google+. Just to be certain, I'll click this button, and yep, it's back to thank you for watching. And we do thank you. Your interest in what we do makes what we do worthwhile. We'll be back at the same time next week to do it all again. In a moment, I'll place a link to this hangout on the Social Media Fridays community, and we invite you to join us. We'd love to have a chat with you. We'll be off the air for a moment, but we'll be spending... we'll be off the air in a moment, but we will be spending a while in the green room, and we'd love to have you join us. As I said, same time next week, we'll be back. Thanks very much.